Hey, what's going on? Old white guy here again. Um, so I just watched this video. Uh, Shout out to Stevie Knight. That dude's awesome. Um, Listening to all of a sudden, out of nowhere, 2021, but started in 2020, we're going to critique Eminem primarily for the crime of being white. And according to some asshole named Mouse, taken up space that other rappers would occupy. Um, Brief history. 49 years old, been listening to rap since I was 16. I've had ins and outs with it, where I was really into it. That's all I listened to. And then it was like, I really didn't listen to too much. But primarily, my favorites I've always listened to. In the 80s, because I got into it when I was, like I said, 16. So my first actual rap cassette I bought was Das Effect's Straight Up Suicide. And take that back. I actually had Run DMC Raising Hell. But Run DMC Raising Hell. Of course, we had actually, my buddy had Beastie Boys License to Ill on vinyl. That's how old I am. And my first CD was Das Effect's Hold It Down. But cassette wise, we bought NWA and the Posse, not Straight Outta Compton. NWA and the Posse, which is the one before that, which most of you fuckers don't know about because you're kids. We bumped that shit in my buddy's 78 Camaro all the time. Ice-T, Public Enemy. Uh, Ironically, I bought the first Public Enemy cassette I bought was "It Takes a Nation of Millions," and then went back and bought Yo Bum Rush's Show, which, by the way, as much as Nation of Millions is phenomenal, Yo Bum Rush's Show is the shit that I will go to if I have to, like if I'm in that mood, just from front to back, the whole CD. But anyway, going back to what I'm saying, there's a lot of us. Oops, shit. There is a lot of us out there. I have to imagine one of the attractions of rap is, and there was this lyricism and beats, and yeah, all that shit's important, but there's an art form of writing. And when you look at the stuff that M did when the Marshall Mathers LP and the Slim Shady LP, and it was, most of us that are diehard Eminem fans. I mean, at least I'll speak for me. I'm not sure everybody's like this, but um, I don't really like the stuff. It's like, you know, jam an ice pick through my dick and all that stuff. Like, it's funny, it's creative, but when he puts shit together and you fucking feel it, like Till I Collapse or No Apologies, um, his verse on uh, Jesus Christ, what the hell is it? Renegade, or his verse on, I mean, honestly, we all know his collaborations are usually his best stuff, but his verse on Patiently Waiting, like, you feel that shit. But when you take his new stuff, like, ever since, I would go with, now I will be honest, I bought Kamikaze before I bought Revival. Because I didn't even know Revival existed, to be honest. I was kind of pulling away from rap a little bit more. But Kamikaze might be his best album, and that's from somebody who's been a diehard Eminem fan since I was early 30s. or no, late 20s. If you really take what he does with breaking down words and putting them together and syllables and stuff, and then his new one at first I didn't like as much. A lot of times, my only problem ever with M is like sometimes he gets like corny beats and puts these incredible lyrics to it. Um, that new one, Tone Deaf, comes to mind, where everybody's raving about the lyrics, but like the beat's kind of weak. But when you get something like You Gonna Learn or No Regrets, like those, the hooks and stuff. Music is, let's be honest, music is not just one aspect. You know, you ever heard someone, I like the beat, but I don't like the words, and I don't like the word. Like, that's just fucking music. But I will say, every once in a while, you get a combination of like all three. Like, you get the lyrics, you get the feeling, and you get the beat, the hook, everything, like Till I Collapse, which I like to say is my all-time greatest M song. It's hard to say any of them because you got No Love, Talking to Myself, like I said, No Apologies. There's just so many, and Survival, and there's just so many. Survival of the Fittest, rather. But they, anyway, this whole fucking conversation started because I'm watching this video and I'm listening to these people talk about how, oh, Eminem's overrated, or Eminem is, you know, all of a sudden we're questioning his contribution to the black culture. Listen, no one is arguing that rap didn't start in black communities in New York, primarily Brooklyn and Queens, okay? No one's arguing that. But there are so many things in culture, the word culture, you know, things that become popular, things that become well known, people talk about it all the time. It doesn't really matter who or what started it, it becomes part of the culture. But when someone like Eminem, or someone like anybody, any rapper, and I am the first person to say I am not well versed in new rappers. The little wee bit I've heard of the supposedly the legends of now, like my legends were KRS-One, Chuck D, obviously Run DMC, Big Daddy Kane, Ice-T. No, I love Too Short, but I'm not gonna say Too Short because his rhymes were so simple. But really, like Rakim probably is number one. But out of those guys, those are my guys. Those are guys I grew up. My favorite rappers of all time are Eminem and Das EFX. I know Das EFX, people sometimes think of like all they hear is They Want Effects. Take a second, go back and listen to Straight Up Suicide, which is their second album, and Hold It Down, their third album. Even Generation Effects, their fourth album. Amazing how they broke down, and they kind of had some. I mean, if M was honest, it probably had some influence on him too, because how they broke down syllables and shit. But fast forward, Jesus Christ, am I getting on a tangent? Point of this video that no one's gonna watch. If you don't appreciate art, or the skill, or the time invested in what Eminem is doing right now, like ever since the comic, like even Revival, there's some songs on it I don't really listen to, but listen to Believe on Revival. It's an awesome song. Kamikaze, I mean, The Greatest, The Ringer, Venom, the one with Joyner Lucas, Not Alike. Like, there are the shit he puts together and comes up with. It shows he sat there and focused and wrote shit down and thought it out, and like it wasn't just jump in a booth, one take, yeah, okay, whatever. It wasn't simple. It's really, really would be difficult to pull it off. The way he bends syllables and bends. But at the end of the day, the whole topic here is, are you honestly going to say that he is not one of the top three? I mean, obviously, like I said, lyrically, I don't think he has. I mean, I don't think anyone comes close to him. I really don't. And this is with, like I said, 30 plus years of exposure. You know, maybe not so much the last 5 years, but you know, I hear all the time. J. Cole, Kendrick Lamar, you know, Mos Def, Big Sean, Joyner Lucas. He's hard, but you know, I'm a father, 3 small kids, and the only songs I let my kids listen to that have swear words half the time were Eminem. But the moral of this story, the whole point I made this video, I was getting angry earlier, and 4 or 5 beers doesn't hurt, but I don't give a shit what color you are. You know, I'll tell you, a great band in the 80s was Living Colour. And guess what? They were all black, and guess what? They weren't rappers. They were a rock band. And they were fucking awesome. The guitarist for Living Colour, if you've never heard him, dude's fucking an animal on the guitar. But like, nobody cared. My generation doesn't care. Like, the new generation is so focused on Eminem because he's white. Does it matter? If you buy a car and you race your neighbor's car and you win, does it matter that your car is red and his is blue? Like, no one fucking cares. You judge it by the performance. You judge it by the skill level. You judge it by the ability or the accomplishment of who or what it was. Nobody gives a fuck about your color. All right, so this is gonna hurt a little bit. You black guys out there, they're like, oh, this bullshit, Eminem don't belong here. Fuck off, dude. You don't own anything. Just because you start something doesn't mean you own it. Trust me, we know. Okay, in so many different categories in this country, this world, this culture, like, what one person started, others finish, you know? When we were kids, breakdancing was big, and, you know, black guys, white guys were breakdancing. Guess what? It's 2021. You know who the best breakdancers are? The Koreans and the fucking Asian crowd is amazing, okay? I don't hate them because they're Asian. I don't look at them and say, well, yeah, they're phenomenal dancers, but it started with black and, you know, and New Jack and all this. It doesn't really count. Fuck that, dude. They're fucking amazing. You know why? Because they put in the work. They put in the work. Nobody owns culture. No race, no person, no group. Like, you can adopt, you can be interested in a type of culture or a type of trend or something, and you can make it your own. It's all individualistic. If you want it, go get it. If the best, you know, R&B singer in the world is white, who gives a fuck? Doesn't mean he's taking or she's taking away from somebody else. I don't care. I don't care. Nobody cares. Tiger Woods was a phenomenal, still is a phenomenal golfer. And people were like, oh, who gives a fuck if he's a black golfer? He's a golfer. He's an American and he's a golfer. I mean, what does it matter if he's black? It doesn't matter. Hockey is a primarily white sport. There's 6 or 7, 10, 15 black players now. Nobody gives a fuck. They talk about it, but the general public doesn't care. The media cares, Politicians care, activists care. The general public doesn't give a fuck. You should be judged by how you behave. You should be judged by whatever job or sport you choose, your performance. That's it. And your character. So the moral of this story for the third time is, hate to break it to you, Eminem puts in mad fucking work. And if you don't think if he's not on your top 5, I mean, like I said before, my favorite group in rap is Das Effects. And my favorite lyricists, when I say Rakim, Chuck D, those guys, yeah, they're there. But nobody touches M for writing and creativity. Nobody. Said it not because I'm white, but because I'm a fan and I can respect the talent and the skill and the work he puts in. So this video is supposed to be about 3 minutes long, turned into 16 minutes. I really don't give a shit. Felt good though. So I would love to field some of your comments because I'm really looking forward to that asshole. It's like, you're just an entitled white privileged. That person I'll talk to one-on-one. But if you have a general question or a comment, let me know, because I can back up what I say. I have enough experience and enough bullshit wisdom when it comes to this category. So, I don't know. I probably won't see you again for another 9 months, but I'm probably going to watch this back and for my own self. I can't even think of the word right now. Whatever. All right, guys, take it easy.